Are you approaching 80, or do you know someone who is, and wondering what physical changes you absolutely cannot avoid? In the next few minutes, you'll discover 6 inevitable changes that happen to your body once you turn 80, and most importantly, exactly what you can do right now to prepare for each one. And I'll reveal the one change that catches most seniors completely off guard. Even their own doctors sometimes miss it. Meet Leonard from Ohio, who celebrated his 80th birthday feeling strong and independent. 3 months later, he fell getting out of bed at 2 a.m. and broke his hip. Leonard had no idea his body had already started changing in ways he couldn't see. And he wasn't prepared. It cost him 6 months of independence. Change 1. Your muscle mass drops dramatically. The first thing that happens at 80 is your muscles start disappearing faster than ever before, and this isn't something you can ignore or wish away. Research from Johns Hopkins Medical Center shows that after you turn 80, you can lose between 3 and 5% of your muscle mass every single year without any intervention. This might sound like a small number, but think about what that means over just 2 or 3 years. You're looking at losing 10 to 15% of your strength in a very short time. This is called sarcopenia, and it's one of the most serious age-related conditions that doctors see in their 80-year-old patients. Your body simply doesn't build muscle the same way it did at 60 or 70, and the rate of loss accelerates dramatically once you cross that 80-year threshold. What does this actually look like in your daily life? Simple tasks like opening a tight jar lid become genuinely difficult within just 12 to 18 months of turning 80. Getting up from a low chair without using your arms for support becomes a real challenge. Carrying a bag of groceries from your car to your kitchen counter leaves you exhausted. These aren't signs of laziness or giving up. These are the direct physical consequences of muscle loss that happens whether you like it or not. Vincent from Arizona told his doctor he thought he was just tired, but a simple strength test showed he'd lost nearly 20% of his leg strength in just 18 months after his 80th birthday. If you ignore this muscle loss and do nothing about it, you're looking at serious mobility loss and potentially complete dependence on others within just 2 to 3 years. The seniors who end up in wheelchairs or needing full-time care aren't always sick. Many of them simply lost too much muscle mass and never did anything to fight back. Your muscles are what keep you independent, period. Without them, you can't walk to the bathroom safely. You can't get dressed without help, and you certainly can't live alone. This is the harsh reality that nobody wants to talk about, but you need to hear it right now because you still have time to do something about it. Start doing simple resistance exercises right now. Even lifting soup cans while sitting in a chair counts as resistance training. You don't need a gym membership or fancy equipment. Just 10 minutes of simple exercises 3 times a week can slow down muscle loss by up to 50%, according to geriatric specialists at the Mayo Clinic. Stand up and sit down from a chair 10 times in a row. Hold light weights or cans while doing arm curls. Do wall push-ups if regular push-ups are too hard. The key is resistance. Your muscles need to work against something to stay strong. Don't wait until you struggle to stand up from the toilet. Start building strength today, because once that muscle is gone, it's 10 times harder to get it back. Change 2. Your sleep pattern completely transforms. Have you noticed you're waking up multiple times at night, even when you're completely exhausted and desperately want to sleep through until morning? This isn't insomnia, and you're not broken. Your body is simply following a new sleep pattern that kicks in right around 80 years old. According to sleep researchers at Harvard Medical School, once you reach 80, your deep sleep decreases by up to 50% compared to when you were younger, and you naturally wake up 3 to 5 times every single night. Your sleep cycles become shorter, lighter, and more fragmented. This is a normal part of aging that almost every 80-year-old experiences, but most people don't know this is coming, so they panic and think something is seriously wrong with them. Your brain chemistry changes at 80, producing less melatonin and making it harder to stay in deep sleep for long periods. You might fall asleep easily at 9 p.m., then wake up at midnight, 2 a.m., 4 a.m., and finally get up for good at 6 a.m. Between these wake-ups, you're getting sleep, but it doesn't feel restful because you're constantly aware of waking. Helen from Pennsylvania thought she had developed severe insomnia at 81 and was terrified she'd need sleeping pills for the rest of her life. Her doctor explained this was simply her body's new normal sleep pattern, and once she accepted it, her anxiety disappeared and she actually started sleeping better. Fighting this natural change leads to dangerous outcomes. Many seniors turn to strong sleeping pills that increase fall risk and cause confusion. Others lie in bed for 10 hours, trying to force 8 hours of sleep that their body simply doesn't need anymore. This creates stress, anxiety, and actual insomnia on top of the natural sleep changes. You end up more exhausted from worrying about sleep than from the actual sleep disruption. Studies from the National Institute on Aging show that seniors who fight their natural sleep patterns have higher rates of depression and cognitive decline than those who adapt to their new rhythm. Accept shorter sleep cycles, take a 20-minute afternoon nap when you feel tired, and stop worrying about sleeping 8 hours straight. Your 80-year-old body doesn't need it anymore. If you get 6 to 7 hours of total sleep in a 24-hour period, even if it's broken up, you're getting enough. Keep your bedroom cool and dark, use the bathroom before bed to minimize wake-ups, and don't panic when you wake at 2 a.m. Read for 15 minutes if you can't fall back asleep immediately. Most importantly, adjust your expectations tonight, not next month, because this pattern is here to stay. Change. 3. Your balance system weakens significantly. At 80, your inner ear and balance reflexes don't work like they used to, and this single change is responsible for more injuries and loss of independence than almost anything else. The tiny organs in your inner ear that tell your brain where you are in space start to deteriorate after 80, and the nerve signals from your feet to your brain slow down significantly. This means your body's automatic balance corrections, the ones that used to happen instantly without you even thinking, now happen a half-second too late. The Centers for Disease Control reports that 1 in 3 adults over 80 falls each year, and balance deterioration is the primary cause of these falls. We're not talking about being clumsy. We're talking about a measurable physical change in your vestibular system that you cannot prevent. What used to be an easy turnaround in your bathroom or kitchen becomes a genuine fall risk, especially in dim lighting or when you first stand up after sitting for a while. Your brain needs more time to process balance information, but your body is already moving, creating a dangerous mismatch. Reaching for something on a high shelf throws off your center of gravity more than it used to. Walking on uneven sidewalks or thick carpet becomes legitimately challenging. These aren't hypothetical concerns. These are the exact scenarios where 80-year-olds fall every single day across America. One fall at 80 can mean a broken hip, a hospital stay, a move to a rehabilitation facility, and loss of independence for months or even permanently. Hip fractures in people over 80 have a 20 to 30% mortality rate within 1 year, not because the fracture itself is deadly, but because the complications from immobility, surgery, and hospitalization are extremely serious at this age. Even if you survive a fall without major injury, the fear of falling again often causes seniors to stop moving, which leads to rapid muscle loss, which leads to more falls. It's a devastating cycle that starts with one preventable accident. Install grab bars in your bathroom today, not tomorrow, today. Keep a flashlight or motion sensor nightlight by your bed so you're never walking in darkness. Practice standing on one foot for 10 seconds daily while holding a kitchen counter to maintain your balance reflexes. Wear shoes with good traction, even inside your house. Remove throw rugs that can slip. These are simple, inexpensive changes that can literally save your life. Falls happen in seconds, but the consequences last months or years. Prepare your home this week because waiting until after you fall is too late. Change 4. Your social circle shrinks naturally. This one hits emotionally, and there's no gentle way to say it. At 80, you'll lose friends and family members on a regular basis, and your social world will get smaller, whether you want it to or not. This isn't pessimism. This is reality. Gerontologists at the Mayo Clinic confirm that social isolation accelerates dramatically after 80, as peers pass away, move to care facilities, or become too ill to maintain friendships. The friends you've had for 20 or 30 years start disappearing from your life, and making new friends at 80 is genuinely harder than it was at 60. You're dealing with transportation limitations, health issues, and the simple fact that there are fewer people in your age group still active and available. This is one of the most emotionally painful changes that happens at 80, but almost nobody prepares for it. Your spouse might be dealing with their own health issues and can't be as social as before, or you might have already lost your spouse and are facing this alone. Your adult children have their own busy lives with work and their own families. Your longtime neighbors move to be closer to their kids or into assisted living. Suddenly, you realize you can go 3 or 4 days without having a real conversation with another person. Stanley from Illinois lost 3 close friends within 14 months of turning 80, and he found himself spending entire weekends alone with nobody to call. His daughter noticed he seemed confused and depressed when she visited, and his doctor confirmed that social isolation was affecting his mental health. Social isolation at 80 increases your risk of dementia by 50%, according to multiple studies, and it significantly shortens your lifespan compared to seniors who maintain active social connections. Your brain needs regular stimulation from conversations and interactions to stay sharp. Loneliness creates chronic stress, which raises blood pressure, weakens your immune system, and accelerates cognitive decline. Isolated seniors also have higher rates of depression, stop taking care of themselves properly, and miss important health warning signs because there's nobody around to notice changes. This isn't just about feeling lonely. This is about your physical survival and mental functioning. Join a senior center right now while you still have the energy and mobility to get there regularly. Connect with younger neighbors, offer to water their plants or get their mail when they travel, which gives you a reason to interact. Learn to use video calling apps like FaceTime or Zoom so you can see distant family members face to face, not just hear their voice. Make new friends before you desperately need them, because forming relationships takes time and energy that you might not have later. Build your social network today while you can still drive or take transportation, while you still feel good enough to attend events, while you still have the cognitive sharpness to remember new names and faces. Waiting until you're desperately lonely makes everything 10 times harder. Change 5. Your brain processing speed slows down. Have you noticed it takes longer to find the right word during a conversation, or you walk into a room and forget why you went there, or someone's name is right on the tip of your tongue but won't come out? This is your brain processing speed slowing down after 80, and it's not dementia, it's not Alzheimer's, and it doesn't mean you're losing your mind. Neurologists at Harvard confirm that after 80, information processing speed naturally decreases by 20 to 30%, even in completely healthy brains with no disease. Your brain is like a computer that's accumulated 80 years of files, programs, and information. It takes longer to search through all that data to find what you're looking for. The information is still there, stored perfectly well, but retrieving it requires more time and effort than it used to. This shows up in everyday situations that can be embarrassing or frustrating if you don't understand what's happening. You're at the grocery store and suddenly can't remember the name of that vegetable you've bought 100 times. You're telling a story and lose track of what you were saying mid-sentence. You need an extra few seconds to understand a joke or process someone's question before you can respond. These delays are normal and expected at 80, but many seniors panic every single time it happens because they fear it's the beginning of serious cognitive decline. This fear and panic actually makes the problem worse because stress interferes with memory retrieval even more. If you panic and worry about every single memory slip, you create unnecessary stress that actually makes your memory worse and increases your risk of real cognitive problems. Constant anxiety about your brain performance keeps your stress hormones elevated, which damages the hippocampus, the part of your brain responsible for forming new memories. You end up in a terrible cycle where worrying about memory makes memory worse, which makes you worry more, which makes memory even worse. Many seniors at 80 become convinced they have dementia when they simply have normal age-related processing changes combined with anxiety. Write things down immediately instead of trying to remember everything like you used to. Use a daily planner, keep a notepad in every room, set phone reminders for appointments. Give yourself extra time for complex tasks like paying bills or following new instructions. Stop comparing your 80-year-old brain to your 50-year-old brain. That's not fair, and it's not realistic. Your brain at 80 has wisdom, experience, and knowledge that your younger brain didn't have, even if it processes slightly slower. Accept this change right now and adjust your daily routines accordingly. Use memory aids without shame because they're tools that help you stay independent and functional. Change 6. Your body becomes more sensitive to medications. Here's the change that even doctors sometimes miss. At 80, the exact same medication dose that worked perfectly fine for years can suddenly become too strong and cause serious problems. Clinical research from Johns Hopkins shows that kidney and liver function decline significantly after 80, which means your body processes and eliminates medications much more slowly than it used to. A pill that used to clear out of your system in 6 hours might now stay in your bloodstream for 12 or 18 hours. This means the medication builds up to higher levels in your body, even though you're taking the same dose you've always taken. Your doctor prescribed that dose when you were 70, but your 80-year-old body is completely different. This affects every type of medication. Blood pressure pills, diabetes medications, pain relievers, sleep aids, everything. What's even more dangerous is that many seniors at 80 are taking 5, 7, or even 10 different medications prescribed by different doctors who might not know about all the other pills you're taking. These medications can interact with each other in ways that cause dizziness, confusion, falls, or even hospitalization. Beatrice from Nevada took the same blood pressure medication for 16 years with no problems. But at 81, it started making her dizzy and weak every afternoon because her kidneys weren't filtering it out fast enough anymore. Taking medications without regular dose adjustments after 80 can lead to dangerous side effects, serious falls that cause broken bones, emergency room visits, or even life-threatening reactions. You might think you're having a new health problem when you're actually experiencing medication side effects or interactions. Symptoms like confusion, weakness, dizziness, nausea, or sudden changes in mood are often blamed on just getting old, when they're actually caused by medications that need adjustment. This is especially dangerous because it leads doctors to prescribe even more medications to treat the side effects of the original medications, creating a cascade of unnecessary drugs. Schedule a complete medication review with your doctor every 6 months. Bring every single pill, vitamin, and supplement you take to this appointment. Report any new symptoms immediately, even if they seem minor, and specifically ask if your doses need adjustment now that you're 80. Ask your pharmacist to check for interactions between your medications. Never start or stop any medication without telling your doctor. Call your doctor this week to schedule that medication review, because waiting 6 more months could mean 6 months of unnecessary side effects or a preventable fall. These 6 changes will happen at 80 whether you like it or not, but knowing about them gives you power and control. Understanding muscle loss means you can fight it with simple exercises. Accepting sleep changes means you stop panicking at 2 a.m. Recognizing balance issues means you prevent falls before they happen. Preparing for social changes means you build connections now while you can. Acknowledging slower processing means you adapt instead of getting frustrated. Getting regular medication reviews means you stay safe and avoid dangerous side effects. You're not helpless at 80. You're experienced, wise, and now you're informed about exactly what's coming and what to do about it. If this information helped you prepare for your 80s or understand what someone you love is experiencing right now, hit that like button. Drop a comment telling me which of these 6 changes surprised you most, because I read every single one and I want to know what's on your mind. Share this video with anyone approaching 80 or caring for someone who is, because this knowledge can literally prevent falls, hospital stays, and loss of independence. Subscribe so you don't miss more honest, practical health information designed specifically for seniors who want to stay independent and healthy as long as possible.